That's on me. Okay. All right, I'd like to welcome everybody here tonight. I didn't feel like coming tonight, but once I got here, I'm glad I came. They worked me, but I'm still glad I'm here. With that said, please turn into your hymn book, page 493, and let's stand and sing the first and fourth verse of Glory to His Name. Woo! Please be seated. All right, we're going to jump right on into the announcements. Let's see, next Sunday, June 3rd, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m., baby shower for Philip Augustus Bailey. That will be Karen and Ray Bailey. They are registered at Walmart. Thursday, June 14th, Eastern North Carolina Veterans Benefit Update, 7:30 a.m. until 7:30 a.m. until 1 p.m. Moortalk Park Building event for veterans, veteran spouses, and widows. Saturday, June 16th, 6 p.m., Marlboro Family Life Center presents a celebration of Freedom Dinner Theater. Menu: barbecue chicken, potatoes, green beans, rolls, etc. And I think that's the same thing I got sitting beside me up here. Yep, same thing. Okay, May is Children's Homes Month. Change for Children. I asked Irvin that if I brought some Sunday night, would it be okay? And he said you can bring it this Sunday night, next Sunday night, any Sunday night, or any time, and he said it'll be okay. Now, that's what he told me, so I'm just relaying the message. With that said, have I forgot any announcements? Oh, yeah, thank you. See, I done forgot about it. Not a fundraiser. Love offering this Sunday coming up for Miss Geraldine. She's got some major issues with termites in her house, and it's supposed to be kind of secret, y'all. So, you know, I said that she would get mad if she knew it, but she's in need. She's been here as long as I have, and she's been pretty dedicated to the church, and hopefully we can help her out with those bills. That's next Sunday, Mr. Henry. I heard you ask about it this Sunday. Yeah, this Sunday coming up. Thank you. This Sunday coming up. So, yes, ma'am. It will be the second weekend in June. June 10th. June 10th will be graduation Sunday, and you know, unless something pops up, we may need to change it. But as of right now, it's on the calendar for June 10th. Thank you for the question. Anything else? Brother Gary Bailey. Yep. Brother Gary Bailey is going to be here Sunday. He's going to be here the 3rd and the 17th. So we'll get him twice this month. Anything else? Yeah, hey, look, man, y'all keep asking questions. We'll get it together here in a minute. You're exactly right. We decided July 8th, right? July 8th for the ice cream social. Yep, I missed that one too, Donna. Yes, sir, that's gonna be an evening service. No, it's gonna be, well, it will, I guess, 5 or 6. Maybe they're gonna be doing a devotional also during the time. So will it be 6 or 5 or probably 6 since we're gonna be doing a devotional and all. The same, well, 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 I mean, they're gonna be giving a devotional also during the time, so I don't know. If you don't feel good about hearing the word of God while you're eating ice cream, I'm sure they could do it at 5 o'clock. Okay, all right, I'm with you. Yeah, yeah. I can eat ice cream and hear the word of God. I like ice cream. Buffet. Amen. That's right. You're right. Exactly right. He knew we'd enjoy it, some more than others, but anything else? Any other announcements? I do appreciate the questions because there's things that aren't in the calendar that are in they're getting in the calendar. How about that? Okay. Go into a time of prayer. I know Emma Bailey was mentioned Sunday. Miss Jeanette. And I didn't have the bulletin from Sunday. I got Mickey Roebuck also. I tried to call Maxine a while ago, and she didn't answer. So I don't know if anybody's heard an update on him. Yeah. Okay. I see Christopher Hoggard's name up here. Okay. Yep. I don't know. It's just written up here. He can use prayer. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Good deal. There was 3 names added Sunday, I do know, and Emma, Jeanette, and I don't know who the other one was. And I wrote them down. Chuck Ellis. Donna Hardison. Pete Culliford, family of Pete Culliford. I got a phone call today and I really didn't have time to talk, and I got the person to send me a text on what Teresa Price said. She'd like everybody to remember her in prayer. I have to go to Duke in 2 weeks, so I've had to stop all meds for my gastric issues. I am having a bad flare-up with my stomach and esophagus. Yep, that's a phone tree from the charter school. Yep, that's all right. Feel very sick, hard to keep food or water down, and in pain. Please pray for me. She said she didn't get here Sunday and she wasn't going to be able to get here tonight. So remember her in prayer. Bailey Warren. Okay. Anybody else?
I have a coworker whose husband is in ICU at the heart center awaiting surgery for
A name?
Mike
Mike
Boyd.
Moyd. Okay. I'll share a little bit. After service, I was a basket case at the end of service Sunday, and when feeling myself, we spoke with Miss Jeanette in the conference room, and I'm gonna tell you what, she was a blessing to me. She's got it going on. She's got it more together than Curtis does, and she's at peace with a lot of things, and her faith is kicking strong. Anybody else? Faye Williams. I know, it does. It does seem like that she's struggling, bouncing back. Miss seeing her, that's for sure. Anybody else? Let's see, Brother Phil, how about open us up?
Dear Lord, we are so grateful to be in your house tonight. We're so thankful for all the blessings in our lives. We're thankful for our church and our church family, the fellowship that we have with one another. We ask, Lord, that we come for prayer tonight, that we remember those that are on this list and who were mentioned tonight. Heal those that be in your will. We pray for the ones that look after them. We ask, Lord, that you would just continue to be blessing to us. We ask these things in Christ's name. Amen.
Amen. With that said, I am very glad that Lisa Hodges showed up tonight since she's got the devotion. And I won't give it to her. Do you want this wireless mic, or are you good with that mic up there?
I'm good with this.
All right.
Phil says he can hear me just fine.
If I can hear everybody else, I'll be okay.
If you can't hear me, come up closer. Because y'all know I hate for everybody to sit out there anyway. Oh, wait a minute. I can't tell you anything.
Phil's dead, not blind. Put two of us together, we might have a whole version.
This mic is close to you, Danny, though. Thank you. Feels good, boss thing.
I'm scared to touch this thing, Phil. Okay, thank you. Well, can y'all hear me or not? I'm talking to the deaf people over here, y'all. Okay, I got a thumbs up over there. Okay, good deal. All right, last time I was here, I said I hate for people to read to me, and tonight I came back and I'm reading to you again. So bear with me. This comes from a book that we're studying. So Kay and Linda and Julie, y'all gonna probably be bored, but it'll be all right. This, the title of my thing tonight is Learning to be a Good Listener and Not a Troublemaker. And Sunday morning he said he didn't think it was a good thing to step on people's toes all the time, and I thought, whoa, I hope I'm not. So anyway, this particular chapter is called Stop Filling the Gap, Learning to Listen. My family calls me the gap filler. I'm not sure I'm too keen on that nickname, but I guess I earned it fair and square. For as long as I can remember, I have loved to talk. My gift for gab was what my relatives commented on when I was little. My constant chatter entertained not only the neighborhood friends, but also their moms, who reported all the highlights back to my mother. There's nothing cuter than a precocious little girl who has a winning way with words. However, once a little girl begins to grow up, her gift of gab can become a detriment rather than a delight. and I've got my first taste of the detriment side of the equation in elementary school. As a young girl, I simply loved going to school. I loved to read and write, and I even liked figuring out those mind-bending math story problems. Excelling in school became my favorite pastime, and I was rather competitive about it. Then came parent-teacher conference. For each of the academic subjects, as well as all the behavioral characteristics, a teacher could check one of 5 boxes: very good, good, average, needs improvement, poor. Oh, how I love seeing those very goods and goods on all my subjects. But then to scroll down in that pesky little box called listening skills, more often than not, it was needs improvement. Karen's a delightful student, my teacher explained as she visited with my mother, but she does seem to have a tad bit of trouble listening, especially while I'm talking. I just love to flap my jaws. I had to add my 2 cents worth. And I'm sure in my defense that I felt what I had to say was way more interesting than what everybody else was saying. It always bummed me out, though, when my teacher reported that I didn't listen well and I talked too much, but it didn't bother me enough to motivate a change in my behavior. In group Bible study or visits with my friends over coffee, I can easily monopolize a conversation. And in the early days, I didn't even know it was happening. I just assumed everyone was as dazzled by my words as I was. I'm not sure how I was first enlightened, but I soon came to discover that often when I was talking, other people in the room were mentally checking out. I don't know if you see yourself in any of this. I could see myself in this. The one thing I've always said was that I think the only gift that God gave me was the gift of gab. And sometimes that's not a good gift to have, especially when conversation is going and you add something that maybe you should have kept to yourself. James 1:19 says, "My dear brothers and sisters, take note of this. Everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, slow to anger, because human anger does not produce the righteousness that God desires." The Bible has much to say about listening and talking. There are some proverbs that are interesting, and they're referred to as tweets from God, if you take them singly. Some of those are, when there are many words, sin is unavoidable, but the one who controls his lips is wise. Do you see a man who speaks too soon? There is more hope for a fool than for him. The one who gives an answer before he listens, this is foolishness and disgrace for him. Even fools are thought to be wise if they keep silent, and discerning if they hold their tongues. So, has your mouth gotten you into trouble? Mine sure has. For people who don't know me from 10 years ago, I lost my voice during a surgery and couldn't talk for a year. And I said at that time that I thought that it was God trying to teach me to shut up and listen and think more about what I was saying rather than just talking all the time. I've never been particularly good with words or necessarily with my tone of voice. Sometimes I'll say something that I mean to be said in a positive way, but the other person reads a negative in it, or the group. And then I got to backpedal and try to explain what I said. Can you imagine how many times I've said things that the person walked away and had a negative feeling left with them when I didn't get that opportunity to backpedal and explain myself? So how can we avoid this? Don't speak too soon. Think about what you're going to say. Take a pause. Listen to what you're going to say before you say it. Most of the time something comes in my brain, it does not pass by my ears before it comes out my mouth, or else I probably wouldn't have said it. Think about how the other person is going to hear it. It might be true, it might be whatever, but how does it affect that person? An example of this is I was at Food Line parking lot one afternoon after work, and one of Phil's cousins was there and spoke to me. And for all the rest of you people who don't know my past, I had 3 children in less than 6 years. And she said, "You're pregnant again." And I went, "Yes, again. I don't know why. I don't know what I'm doing wrong." And she looked at me and said, "I've been trying for 12 years. I would love to have just one." Now, I felt that tall. I felt that tall. Because my conversation at that moment was completely one-sided. It was selfish. Because I was frustrated. I hadn't had a good day. I didn't think to look at the person in front of me and think about what I was saying before I said it. So what other steps can we do to learn to listen more and speak less? We need to have a pure heart about what we talk about. In Circle Joy, we talked about a lot of what you say comes from your heart. And I thought, well, I've said a lot of things I don't think were representative of what's in my heart. I'm a good person. I'm a Christian. You know, I wouldn't hurt somebody's feelings on purpose. You know, not even somebody I didn't like. I just wouldn't do that. So what we say and how we act are a reflection of what's actually in our heart. So first of all, maybe we should surround ourselves with other like-minded people. If you're around chronic complainers, cheaters, lazy people, people who are gossiping, eventually you're going to start doing those same things, okay? If they complain, you're going to complain. If they curse, you're going to curse. If they gossip, you're going to gossip. Watch your intake. What do you watch on TV? What's coming into your head? What do you read about on Facebook? Are you reading Facebook because you like to see grandchildren pictures, or are you reading Facebook because you like to get the scoop on what's going on in other people's lives? You know, it's kind of a fine line there. Listening to conversation from your friends. If somebody says, "You're not going to believe what I heard at work today about such and such," do you say, "What?" Or do you say, "Oh, was it true and should I hear it?" You know, maybe I'll just wait till later. Yeah, you get your facts straight and come back later on. Most of us are not going to do that because we're all human. We can make prayer a daily priority. Everything good that we want in our lives and the things that we actually want to get rid of in our lives, we can pray about every single day. And God will help us make better choices in our speech and mold our hearts into a more pure heart, one that would be more pleasing to God. Our mothers told us, if you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all. I probably didn't listen to 99% of what my mama told me, but that's one I should have listened to. Because the Bible has a lot to say about listening and speaking. So back to Proverbs for some more tweets. Those who guard their lips preserve their lives, but those who speak rashly will come to ruin. The mouths of fools are their undoing, and their lips are a snare to their very lives. A gossip betrays confidence, so avoid anyone who talks too much. Watch your tongue and keep your mouth shut, and you will stay out of trouble. I need to take that one and paint it on my mirror so I could try to stay out of trouble. So, what is gossip, or what is sinful talk? You know, we all talk a lot, but what is sinful talk? To answer that, we need to examine our motives. What is most motivating us to say what we are saying? And these are some hard ones for me. A few questions consider to identify what the motive is that you're going about to say something. Am I certain that what I want to say is true? And if so, perhaps you should say it. But before you do, maybe some other questions will be in order. Is my goal to have my comment help the person or the situation at hand, or is it to put a little pinch in their heart? many times you want to just say something just to get a little jab at somebody? Do I feel that my words will bring a solution? Or, if I'm totally honest, will they actually cause more of a problem? Do you want to be the person who's stirring the pot, thinking that you're making a solution? Even if what I plan to say is the truth, is my aim really to say something to make myself look better in comparison? Have I earned the right to speak to this particular person? If not, you should probably keep your lips zipped. If someone loses a child, I am not the person to go over there and say, "You'll be okay, pray, and God's going to help you get past this." I've never lost a child. There's probably somebody else who would be much better to go and talk to that person, because I've not been through that, and I can't tell them I know how they feel. If I were speaking about this person to someone else, would I say the exact same thing as I would if that person were sitting in front of you? Are these words really necessary, and why? And that goes back to when I didn't have a voice. I had to pick and choose my words because I could only get out 4 or 5 at a time before I was out of breath. Have I prayed about it? Or I only thought about it in an effort to plan what I had already determined to say anyway? This one really got me. Am I trying to play Holy Ghost and convict someone or guilt them into changing their mind about something? You know, God's in control. We don't need to be. And if the roles were reversed, would I want the other person to say the same thing to me? Paul says in Romans 1:29, they have become filled with every kind of wickedness, evil, greed, and depravity. They are full of envy, murder, strife, deceit, malice, and they are gossips. Think about each of these things that were mentioned. Envy. Do we harbor envy towards each other? Sometimes we do. We're envious of somebody's position in the church, or praise and appreciation that they're getting from somebody. You know, are you envious of that? Murder. Well, I'm not doing that, and I don't think anybody else is in here either. But what if you say something to somebody and they leave the church, or you say something outside the church, they don't come to church, that person dies and goes to hell? What did you do for that person? So, no, I'm not going to murder, but sometimes I've probably carried some axes. Strife. Do we cause strife in our own family or our church family by being uncooperative or difficult? Deceit. Do we always tell the truth exactly like it happened, or how we want to put our own spin on it? Malice. Are we mean-spirited when things don't go our way? Gossip. Do we talk about things in the church that we really should not? And most especially, do we talk about the church and people in the church to others outside the church? This church is your family. If your sister has a hard go or something, you don't go to your neighbor and tell them all about it. Your church family, they are your brothers and sisters as well. So, why is this on my mind tonight? Well, one reason is that the Circle of Joy has been studying this book, and I kind of noticed that a few times we've said something like, keep it shut or zip it, and people kind of look at you like, geez, well, that wasn't very nice, but it's done in a joking way for us, and a way that we kind of try to keep each other in check. You know, you really need to be saying that, or something I said the other night at a meeting. I said, well, I heard, and Karen said, oh, that's bad. Don't even start there with, well, I heard, because if you say, well, I heard, you just don't even need to repeat the rest of the sentence, whatever it was. To others, it does sound rude, but should we not all be keeping each other in check? You know, if somebody starts to tell a dirty joke, do you put your hand up and say, oh, no, I don't really want to hear that, but thank you very much? Or do you just go along with it and say, yeah, see ya, and then you go talk about them somewhere else? No, we need to try to help each other out, to stay on the right track. But also the biggest thing is that come July 1st, we will be entering into a new chapter of the history of Rosa Sharon, Free Will Baptist Church. We're going to be welcoming a new pastor. He's going to come with new ideas, and he will not have the knowledge of what our traditions and thoughts of how we do things are here. There's going to be change, and you know, humans do not like change. We're going to be resistant to change. So how are we going to deal with this change is going to be a direct reflection of what is in our heart. Are we going to listen? Are we going to make wise decisions? Are we going to say the right thing at the right time? Or are we going to be stick in the muds and be hard to get along with and just be a detriment? So things to ask ourselves when the time comes. Will we have pure hearts? Will we listen before speaking or acting? Will we abstain from gossip and speak only positive words? Will we strive to act towards each other only in love, even when we disagree? Only then will our church grow in God's glory. And that'll be it. Anybody have any discussion? That was heavy, wasn't it? You ain't saying nothing. All right. So, if y'all see us going, zip it, you'll know somebody rolled their eyes or said something they shouldn't have said, and one of the rest of us called them on it. Okay? Anybody got any comment? Sir? Good lesson. Yes, it is. All right. Who wants to have prayer? Volunteer. Nobody volunteers to have prayer in church. All right.
Lord, we thank you for the many blessings that you give us, Lord, and we're thankful for Lisa getting her voice back, Lord, so she can give us a lesson tonight, Lord, and it's things that we need to hear, and Lord, the things we should apply in our lives, and keep love the first and most important thing in our church, especially in our church, Lord, and we pray, Lord, that we can be leading examples in our community, Lord, and Lord, we just pray that we can walk the walks and just not talk the talk. Lord, we pray for your continuous blessings upon this church, your hands upon it, Lord. There's some things that have not changed, Lord, and some are going to be good, and some might not like them, Lord. But I pray, Lord, that each and every one of us take it with a loving heart, and let us all grow together with Brother Dale. Lord, we're looking forward to it.